Right, quick video with regard to fitting the RCMadness brushless motor mount to the 5 chassis. Now when I got mine, I actually got two pinions. I got a 16 tooth and a 19 tooth, and I opted to go with the 19 tooth for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I was planning on running a 520 kV, which is what this is, not a 780, and also because the stock engine, the two-stroke engine, was running on a 19 tooth pinion, and so I figured I could use the inserts underneath in the chassis to get the mesh. But on my first attempt, it was clear that that just wasn't going to work, because it just didn't work. It didn't line up properly. The gap was just too big, and subsequently damaged that pinion. It didn't destroy it, but it did damage it. So I decided I would just set the mesh myself by doing away with the inserts, and just, if I lift this up, just using those two bolts there, and they're just 5mm bolts with a button head to try and keep the profile nice and low. And you should be able to just see there's a washer in there as well, just to spread the load a bit. The only real downside to doing this, as you can see, the bolt and the washer, they don't fill up the width of that little channel, that recess. So what you've got to be careful of when you do it this way is that your pinion, you see my hand, is lined up correctly that way. You've got to get it dead straight in line with the spur gear, because otherwise you're going to have it running excuse me, you're going to have it running at an angle either way, like so. So you've got to make sure you get it sat dead straight in the middle of those two recesses. And then obviously it's then just a case of setting your mesh, which you do manually, which if I turn that way, let's see if I can get that in there. It wants to look something like that. As Nodge said on the forum, you're looking at 1.5mm gap, really. It's tiny. Now that's been on there for a good 6 or 7 full packs now, and the blue, you can see some blue on there, and that's from where one of the lithium packs, the lipo packs, moved and was getting caught on the teeth. Thankfully it didn't get ripped open. It would have gone up in flames, but that blue has stayed there now because the mesh is correct, so the teeth are running just right. But that's how I've done it. I'm sure if you were to get other inserts, you may be able to find, I mean that's now an 18 tooth pinion, you may find that using a different insert, a 17 or maybe a 19 turned around, I don't know, you may find you can use the inserts to get everything to sit just right and still have the correct gap, the correct mesh. I'll show you again. But I haven't bothered messing around with that. I just decided I'd do it manually, as I've done with all my electric cars. Just set it up manually. Unfortunately, it's one of those things you just have to drive the car hard and see if you start damaging anything. Obviously, you listen to the sound as well. Listen to see what noise it's making. And that's about it, really. Not much else to tell you. Yeah, that's it. It's you know, you got to use your eyes and judge it and gauge it, and hopefully you'll get it just right. And that's about it. I'll show you one more time underneath. Just those two there, and that's it. That's all I've done. Very simple. One of the things I like about this is this mount is just so simple, very robust, and eventually it will allow me, when I get my act together and sort it out, to use the two disc brakes and have mechanical braking, so I can take some of the load off of the motor and the ESC and just run it on mechanical braking. That's my plan long term anyway. There's the battery boxes that I made. Much better than the RCMadness tray, which is still there because this is sat on top of it. But it's bracketed. They're both bracketed in nice and firm. They're not going to go anywhere. Plenty of foam padding. Pleased with that. Yeah, and they're doing a good job. And they also spread the weight a bit better. Instead of having all of the batteries at the front there, I can have one at the rear and one at the front. And that's about it for now. I hope this helps you with your meshing, and look forward to seeing your car running soon. Cheers, Reg. Take care, mate. Bye.